This one's knocked up. Bowers tips it to himself, and he'll score. Snaps it anyway. Greer lobs it in the air. Oh, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State. Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the left. Here's a blast, and Klubnik didn't see it coming. He got blasted by Kalen DeLoach, who has the ball and is heading toward the end zone.
What is going on, everyone? It is episode 68 of College Football Talk. And we are back after a College World Series that was outstanding. College football world that continues to surprise us each and every day. And we are back. Dylan, how are we feeling today?
We're feeling pretty good. You know, it's a beautiful day. Sunset's beautiful. You know, it's a great day.
It's a great day, guys.
It's a great day.
Love to see it. See behind us. Got the merch. So if you guys want some plenty of sizes, just shoot us a DM, one of the socials, and we will get you a shirt, shipping info, and everything. I mean, just look at that. That is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Dry fit, super comfy. Dylan and I both wear them all the time.
Oh, yeah. I wear mine pretty often.
I have people that wear them. You have people that wear them. I mean, just a great piece of quality right here.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys want one, let us know. Let us know in the comments below that you guys want one, and we'll get it sent out. First one's always free. Next one's not, but we'll get the pricing figured out after. But shifting our focus back to the pod itself, we got a good show for you guys today. College World Series recap. We're going to do a Texas A&M head coach decides he wants to go to Texas.
Yeah.
His name's Jim Schlossnagle. And a lot of people don't like him right now.
Yeah. No, I mean,
we're going to round it out. Understandably for what he did, but and it's not just he just left to go to a rival fan base. It's much more than that. And then finally, we got top 10 college football stadiums, our personal lists, because there's been a lot of people going around with their lists. I'm seeing a lot of lists, but it's time to give out our choices.
Yes.
So without further ado, we'll hop right into it. But make sure you guys are subscribing, watching, and liking the videos as well. Subscriptions, guys, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. It's free. It takes instantaneously 1 second, less than a second, to hit that button. And it helps us. It helps you.
Yes.
All right, we're moving on. All right, so we'll get to our first topic of the evening here. College World Series Finals recap. I did the College World Series preview a couple weeks ago, but now we're here. I don't remember. You had who winning?
I don't remember. It may have been Texas A&M.
I know I had Texas A&M and Tennessee originally. The preview video came out, and I changed Tennessee to Florida State because I thought Florida State had been playing really good ball.
Yeah,
they got screwed in the first game. We won't talk about it that much.
Yeah,
Dylan wants to let it out a little bit, but
it was a swing. We all know it was a swing.
100%.
It was a swing. They should have lost that game.
100%. They did blow a 4-run lead starting in the 8th inning, so we're not going to talk about that. But that was a swing. Blake Burke definitely went. Ends up coming back to get him like 2 pitches later.
Yep.
And Tennessee falls. I mean, who knows? If Florida State wins that, they're in the winner's bracket. They might be cruising.
Yeah.
Or Tennessee just comes back and beats them again. So I don't know. But Tennessee, regardless, got through that. Texas A&M gets through their bracket relatively easy. They got challenged by Florida in the first game a little bit. Jason Lavalette robs a home run in the 9th, which would have tied the game. And that game didn't start till 11. It didn't end till like 2:30 in the morning.
Where was that? That was like, why was that game so late?
Because there was rain, thunder. It was just thunderstorms. And then they got through Kentucky very easily, and then they took care of Florida.
Yeah.
Finals comes. You have A&M comes out and just beats Tennessee with pretty convincingly in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh, well, okay. A&M, excuse me, undefeated now, going into game 2, a game away from winning it all. And they got a bullpen game kind of going for the second game. To get through, they're in the 7th, and it's 1-0. They're winning just a few outs away. And then they give up the home run. They give up another one in the 8th. They fall 4-1. Okay, resets now. We go to game 3. And all bets are off. Tennessee comes out blazing glory. Christian Moore hits a leadoff home run in the first. They go up 6-1 with, I believe, Hunter Ensley with the magnificent play at the plate where he avoids a tag, gets in safely. That 6th run becomes the key run here in this scenario because A&M gets 2 back in the 8th, 2 more in the 9th, and eventually falls 6-5. Tennessee wins. Dylan, any thoughts on the tournament itself? What happened in the finals? Tennessee, first SEC team to win 60 games and also win a title. They snapped also a losing streak of 1 seeds. Hasn't won a title since 1990. So congrats to the Vols. They're singing high on Rocky Top.
I think overall it was a really good year for baseball. I feel like we had a lot of great moments. It was really fun to see, me as a Florida State fan, team rebound pretty good from pretty good, really, really spectacular from last year, going from, the first losing season since the 60s for Florida State baseball to making the Final Four of the College World Series. Big turnaround for them. But overall, there was a lot of great baseball just in general. I mean, what did you think, Hunter? I really enjoyed this tournament this year. Personally, I had so much fun watching baseball.
Oh, I thought it was one of the best tournaments I've seen in a while. I thought it was a lot better than the NCAA basketball tournament this year. Yeah. I just thought the parity, the entire parity of the tournament, because they're going in, there wasn't a clear cut, this team's head and shoulders above the rest.
Especially compared to last year.
Exactly. So
last year, had LSU. We talked about LSU a ton when we talked about the tournament.
Even Wake Forest last year.
Wake Forest,
LSU were the 2 big boys. You had some other teams, but those 2 were the clear cuts. You also had Florida in there as well.
I think Tennessee was there until they went out early, but Tennessee was a big name right before.
Mm-hmm.
Right at the beginning of the tournament, Tennessee was a big name they were talking about.
Yeah. And so now you have, coming into this tournament, you have Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida State, A&M, I'm trying to think, Clemson, just rattling off some of the national seats, but North Carolina. And you just look at the whole board, and it's any of these teams can win. And that's how it felt for most of this College World Series. I mean, the first 3 games were all walk-offs. The next one was a 1-run game at the end. And then then you could start to see maybe a little bit the teams starting to separating themselves from some other teams. But overall, just a heck of a tournament. And, I really think that Tennessee's offense coming alive late really propelled them. And then key pitching down the stretch for the Vols. Drew Beam, Aaron Combs, you have, Kirby Connell, the whole gang right back there. They just kind of shut down A&M in those last 2 games after they gave up a 9 spot in the first game. It was really impressive to see Tennessee do that. Credit to A&M, hell of a season. I thought Hayden Kent stepped up massively when Braden Montgomery went down. A&M also had a bunch of injuries. They were down a starter in the pitching staff. Braden Montgomery is going to be a top 10 pick or first-round pick, we'll call it, because I don't know where now he's going to fall with that injury of his. But Hayden Kent does a hell of a job stepping in. I thought the lack of production from some of the big boys in that middle of that lineup really hurt them in the series. But I mean, is what it is now. Parity was the overall thing. I thought just really good tournament. College baseball is really just ascended itself just dramatically
Yeah.
over the season. They think they're starting to really do a good job at connecting to people, growing that audience. I saw a thing. I think it was 3.3 million people viewed in for that third game. And that was going on while the Stanley Cup Finals Game 7 was going on.
And what a finals.
Now
I mean,
that
separate
itself,
conversation, but like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It was able to compete with probably one of the best Stanley Cup
finals in a while.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably since his last year's was a dud. The year before was not really. I mean, Colorado controlled Tampa.
Yeah.
Probably since like 2019 when St. Louis won in 7 against Boston.
But even then, it wasn't like this where it was like the comeback and then like, oh my gosh. But
I mean, but what a series. That's what I take away from all of it. Looking ahead to next year, just throw out your early predict. Who do you think is going to step up or win it all next year?
It's a really good question. I mean,
who's your Omaha 8 next year, going into next year?
8, okay.
You got to have 8. Put you right here on the spot.
Okay. So I think Tennessee returns. I think they'll be back next year.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Tennessee, Florida State.
Florida
State.
Florida State.
Florida State. Clemson. I think Clemson. I really liked Clemson. I know they were a little bit disappointing this year with Florida, but I think they'll be back. I think they got a solid squad. And then on the spot, this is hard.
Listen. Let you think about it.
Put Georgia on there.
Okay.
I like Georgia. I know they're losing a couple guys, but
they re-signed. Yeah. They just locked and extended Wes Johnson, their head coach, today.
Yeah.
Big news in the coaching carousel right now, but they do lose Condon and Collins, mainly the two big boys in that lineup, but they're bringing back some young guys and got some good guys in the portal right now.
Mm-hmm. I think Florida will be back because for some reason Florida always is able to get there. Even when their team's terrible, they still sneak into the tournament and make like
Kevin O'Sullivan let Florida teams 9-0 in super regional. So
yeah, I mean I can't count them out. Even I hate Florida, but they'll probably be there. Low key. I mean, I think Texas next year with new manager who just took his team all the way. And I mean, they were pretty good this year.
Yeah.
It's a stunner. Texas goes on a little bit of a Cinderella run. I mean, as much as Cinderella run as Texas can be on, but
there you go.
They got a good year going next year. What am I at? Like 5 now? 4 or 5?
Something like
that. Wake Forest. Let's see, Wake Forest. LSU.
Anytime now. I'm just teasing. Continue.
One more, right?
Sure.
And then let's go with Bama.
Bama. Whoa, from the top gate. Hey,
we're pulling out. I'm also, while I was doing this, I was also like thinking in my head about which stadiums I want to put on my list and where. So my head was a little bit scrambled.
Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and put LSU. I think Jay Johnson and that group played really well down the stretch.
Yeah.
Just this year, after what they did last year, they're going to have. I think there's still some players that are about to snap out of the portal that could really boost that team. I like Georgia. I think second year now with Wes Johnson. They had over 40 wins this year.
Yeah.
And it's the first year Wes Johnson's going to get that pitching staff figured out. That's going to be a big key for them. And I like where they're going to be. Tennessee, Vitello, and that group, they always have a team ready to roll there. I think Florida State, I think Link Jarrett's got something cooking down there. I think this year you saw what they can do. Next year, it's only going to go. Interesting to see how they'll replace Tibbs, Smith, and probably like some other guys in that group, like for Jaime Ferreira and probably, I don't know if Jamie Arnold's going this year or not, but
I mean, he could though. That's the only
I think Clemson's going to get there.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Clemson. They have Cam Camarella coming back next year. Puts me at 5. I like Arkansas.
Okay.
I think Dave Van Horn in that group. They usually always have a good team. Virginia, always. Brian O'Connor, one of the most underrated coaches out there, always has a team in Omaha. Always. For some reason.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for fun, let's go with trying to go outside the normal here. Let's roll with, I always get hopes up for them. I always do. And they never do anything with it. But maybe next year's the year. I want to play East Carolina.
Okay.
Godwin's always got.
Pirates.
Listen, injuries hurt them down the stretch a little bit, but Cliff Godwin in that group always has something going. They lose a couple guys in the portal. Trey Savage is going to go in the draft, but yeah, give me East Carolina. I know that won't work out. They'll probably drop another regional, but it's okay. We're here. We're all in this together, guys. Yeah. So there's our early Omaha 8. We're going to move on though now to other news in the college baseball world. Look at us expanding, by the way, our palette as we're, we're only less than 9 weeks out from college football.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about college baseball. Just look at us expanding our palette. We might have to rename the show. Again, look at that shirt. Just absolutely beautiful. Anyway, we're back here now. So Jim Schlossnagle is the Texas A&M baseball coach. So we'll start this with just overall. So anybody that knows college sports knows that Texas A&M and Texas hate each other.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry that compares to, I don't know, United States and North Korea. I'm trying to think. Just Florida State and Florida.
I think it's more than that one too.
The Empire versus the Jedi. It's, it's Thanos versus the Avengers. It's just they hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, by the way, what analogies here by me? I'm on a heater right now.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's see where you're going with this one. Let's go.
I'm on a heater right now.
Yeah, it's
so they don't like each other. And so now we'll fast forward to Texas. Texas releases their head coach. And all right, so we have that.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to Texas A&M. Texas A&M is having one of the best seasons probably in program history at this point. They get to they're in the midst of playing for a national championship.
Yep.
They fall short. Jim Schlossnagle is their coach. After the game, about 30 to 45 minutes after the game, they're at the presser. Schlossnagle gets asked, because earlier in the day, that's when Texas released their coach. Do you have any interest? Pretty much. I'm just kind of what's the word here I'm looking at? Paraphrasing here.
Yeah.
Do you have any interest in the Texas job? And it's always a weird question to ask a team, not only just lost a title, but you're asking a guy about a coaching opening for another school.
And he can't answer that question.
No, and you're not going to direct the set. So he says along the lines of, I left my family to join this university because I thought this place is where I want to be for the long term. I'm
Yeah.
not here to jump ship, here to stay, build this thing, and bring many titles and success to this program.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
Now we fast forward to, let's give it about, I would say maybe 14, 15 hours later. News comes out. Jim Schlossnagle is planning on taking the Texas job. Okay. Didn't see that one coming. Nobody did. A lot of people think it's rumors. Rumors, guys. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's damn true.
Yeah.
So he now takes the job to a place that is school's worst enemy.
Yeah.
A place that you flat out lied and said with your chest you have no intentions of going there.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're there. You sign. Not only that, he's buddies with the AD at Texas.
Yeah.
Which is why they connected him to that spot.
To the job right away.
Correct. And so now, I'm reading into a little more today.
Mm-hmm.
This bad boy has been going back since April.
Yeah.
There has been reports that there was negotiations, early talks with recruiting, using burner phones, setting up what to do next since April when Texas A&M was playing Georgia.
Yeah.
I know where I was when I was watching that series. I was at school watching that. That was not just recently.
Yeah.
That was months ago.
It's very recent.
First of all, using burner phones, if this is true, is outrageous. I mean, and now so the crowd that says, there's no loyalty anymore. Yeah, there's not. And I mean, players jump ship
all the time.
Well,
coaches jump ship all the time.
Well, that's why players are allowed to jump ship, because coaches are allowed to do it. Players are allowed to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't care. People that, are all for rivalries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Texas went and got Chris Beard from Texas Tech at the time.
Yep.
Before, Chris Beard, I believe, got boozed up and did something else. But
yeah, you got a DUI.
Really, I got DUI.
Yeah.
But he's at Ole Miss now.
Yep.
Which I don't know is any better. But
Makes sense.
Well,
I mean, that's Ole Miss is
so
higher.
Texas has a thing for this for some reason. But they're the standard. No. Hook 'em horns. No. Not just
horns up.
Yep, hook 'em. Well, horns up would be USF.
Yeah, hook 'em horns. But I mean, I'm not surprised by this at all. Personally, I mean, you look at his career. He spent so much time at TCU, and he leaves for Texas A&M. And while TCU and Texas A&M aren't big rivals, just being schools in Texas that are Division I power, they're not friends, right? That's already very alienating to that previous fan base who's probably mad. He goes to Texas A&M for 2 years and then leaves for Texas. That is an insane move. That is an insane move to do.
Oh, it's crazy.
Move from TCU to Texas A&M to Texas in a 4-year span from 2021 to 2025.
Hold on. Yeah. He builds up the program at TCU, goes to Texas A&M.
Yep.
Just to go to Texas. And I have no issue with that.
I don't have an issue with that.
It's more the fact that you lied with your gut and you said, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And then not even a day later, you turn around and say you're leaving. Not to mention that now I believe it's at 6. It's going to be more. At least 6 players for Texas A&M. That at least 6 key guys are all jump ship.
Yeah.
All of Texas A&M's pitching or coaching staff is at Texas now.
Yep.
Who knows how many players are going to follow?
Mm-hmm.
I know LSU's been rumored in the mix for a lot of these players. Key guys that have jumped ship, Jay Slaviolette, who was on pace to break A&M's home run record.
Mm-hmm.
You have guys like Gravin Grahovac, who I believe was one of the SEC freshmen of the year. If not the SEC freshman of the year, was up there in the up there's one of the top ones. You know, Hayden Schott's in there. Caden Kent, who stepped in a big way. Caden Sorrell, Ali Camarillo. Like, these are all guys in your starting lineup. This is your field.
Yeah.
They're all
I mean, it's
double chip.
I do want to give you the full quote from what he said to that reporter, because this is an insane thing to say. So he told the reporter after the reporter asked if there was interest in the Texas job. He said, I think that's a pretty selfish, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again. That hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. He also said he gave up part of his life to come take this job and poured every ounce of my soul in this job and gave this job every ounce I could possibly give it. And then he left.
Yeah, nice. Get out of here.
Oh, man. I love coaches, man.
Oh, yeah. And then I think it was today at his opening press conference. He's talked about how, you know, at the time he tried to apologize for it, and he was trying to say, like, at the time, you know, all you're focused about is on the players.
Yeah.
And, you know, looking, you know, we just finished, you know, losing the title. Who's to say he could care about that now? He's playing the Texas card now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's talking about selling the game, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Signing his contract. Do not let them win. Conspiracy now. We could really start stirring the pot here. Can you imagine if that said that? Like, listen, you can't let them win. I don't know what you do. You can't let them win. They're like, you know it. And he's, I can't even imagine that. It's so funny. And he is thinking about building the Texas roster. He's not even managing the game, probably.
Mm-hmm.
This is wild.
He's sitting there on his burner. He's texting and he's going, I'm gonna let these guys know in the locker room. I got you. I know where you can play next year.
Yes.
I got burnt orange jerseys in my car right now for all you guys. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. We'll be here next year.
You ever heard of Lookum?
Look, boys, I got Matthew McConaughey in the parking lot for us. Let's go.
We got Matthew McConaughey. We got
Owen Wilson.
We got Glenn Powell. We got the whole gang. We got Owen Wilson. We got them all. And we got Bevo. So
I think Bevo was in the locker room right after the game.
Right.
To let him know.
He was actually got on Bevo.
Yeah.
And rode off.
He finished answering that question, right? And he's like, I have nothing to do with Texas. And then got on Bevo and went straight to Austin.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Texas A&M coach has zero interest in Texas job as he leaves on Bevo.
No. Right? It's so funny. And we can all say now that, Schlossnagle. I mean, if you're a recruit now, how do you trust the guy?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to trust him. I mean, who's to say he's just going to jump ship again?
Mm-hmm.
So
now the one thing is it is Texas, so it's like it's not like, you know,
some no-name school.
Yeah, it's Texas. So even like you hire a coach that's untrustworthy, it's like it's the school sells itself. So I don't think he's going to struggle with recruiting. The problem has always been with Texas is just they haven't had a manager who's good at, you know, managing.
Yes. I mean, Schlossnagle's a good coach, but it's just the fact that what he did.
Oh, it's terrible.
And now you start seeing some of these other coaches around the league and that are schools are locking them down. Georgia saw today they just extended Wes Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I saw another one or two. There's a couple other ones that I saw also did the same thing or soon going to be doing it. Like, because you know the bank, you know that wallet, that pocketbook is getting ripped open.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this follows and how many more players leave. This is kind of like that Nick Saban retiring bomb, and now like the whole like staff is there's a mass exodus of players.
Yeah.
Side note: Campbell, University of Campbell, the Camels Their coach left to be assistant coach or head coach somewhere. I can't remember. 30 players on that roster have all hit the portal.
How many players do you have on a roster?
Pretty much 30-ish, maybe a
Yeah.
little more, but yeah, 30 players.
Just lost everybody.
Program's dead now,
They've lost everybody.
right?
I will say, being a Florida State fan, I'm very happy that we hired a coach who
Link Jarrett, here you go.
was born in Tallahassee. He played at Florida State. I mean,
Yeah.
he left Notre Dame to coach at Florida State. I mean,
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you have to at that place.
yeah, I mean, it takes a lot. I feel like it takes a lot of poaching to get that guy out of there.
That's what, like, this conversation was what we had with when Nick Saban retired.
Yeah.
And how, like, we were looking at, like, how much would it cost for somebody, you know what I mean, to leave there.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's enough on that topic. We'll move on, though, to, I'm trying to pull up the EA's list, but they keep making me want to subscribe. Paywalls.
Oh, EA's list? I got you. I can pull it up.
I got it here.
Okay.
I got it here pulled up. All right. So, EA Sports College Football 25 released their top 25 loudest college football stadiums to play at.
Yeah.
And I will go through them. Actually, here, you know what? I'll stream it here, and we can go through it. And then, Dylan, keep in mind, write down, if you haven't already, start.
Yep, I finished my list.
10. Oh,
my list has been finished. Now, I want to make sure, is this loudest stadiums or best stadiums?
We're going to do overall stadiums. So, it can, loudest can be a factor.
Yeah, it's definitely a factor.
All right, I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so we can all see it here.
Yep.
Perfect. Let's see if I can get... So this is EA's top 25 list. Let's see if I can get it. All right, so we'll start. So 25 is Mississippi State. So in case everyone wants to know. And yeah, because I just want to get the whole listing in.
Yeah.
24 is Boise State. So interesting, those top two. But I'm not.
It makes sense.
I mean, I could nitpick all of them, but I'm not.
Yeah,
you know,
I think there's a lot of here, like, you know.
So we have college. So if you're listening on podcasts, make sure you're listening on Spotify and following. And if you're not, do that. So top 25, number 1, A&M, Kyle Field. Number 2, Bama at Bryant-Denny. LSU Tiger Stadium at 3. Ohio Stadium at 4. Georgia Sanford Stadium at 5. Penn State 6, Beaver Stadium. Wisconsin 7, Camp Randall. Oklahoma at 8. Florida State, I always like this one. You know, Twitter was going to go funny with this one. Florida State ahead of Florida at 9 and Florida at 10. Need to go to Doak for a game because I need to compare these two now.
Yeah.
11's Oregon, 12 Clemson, 13 Tennessee, 14 Auburn, 15 South Carolina, 16 Michigan, 17 Virginia Tech. Utah's at 18, 19 Texas, Iowa 20, Notre Dame 21, Michigan State 22, Arkansas 23, Boise State 24, and Mississippi State 25. Brain fart there. All right.
Yeah, no,
so
you're good.
First and foremost, what do you see on here? Do you disagree with anything? Not really care?
I mean, you could nitpick literally every single placement on here, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one that sticks out to me most is Bryant-Denny at number 2.
Bryant-Denny, I feel like it's a loud but quiet place.
I mean,
I thought it was good because
I thought somebody put it so well on Twitter when they said Bryant-Denny isn't a loud stadium, it's just a stadium that houses a winner.
Yes.
I think that's the best way to put it. Is that, you know, you watch games at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and it's like, is the stadium really that loud? No, it's just full of like 100,000 plus people who are all like medium volume.
Yeah, I
so
100% agree with that.
Like,
I'm a little surprised of
good.
how far down Tennessee, Auburn are.
Yeah,
because
that's
Jordan
surprising.
Hare and Neyland, Rocky Top, or in Neyland Stadium and Jordan Hare Stadium,
yeah,
very loud places to play at, very tough places to play at. It's because the teams have been so lackluster the last few years.
Yeah,
but you can still go. Even Williams-Brice at night, when they're in it, boy, you can get Sandstorm rolling. They'll, you know, the Cox come out.
It can be a crazy
Pause.
place.
Anyway, there. Lane Stadium at 17.
I
A
think
little
you could be
low.
higher with that one, yeah.
But maybe it's just because their entrance is loud, and that's it.
It's a loud stadium. It's just
Like-
not a pretty stadium, to be honest with you.
Utah at 18 is very underrated. That place is a wild house. There are a bunch of sober nut jobs out there because you can't drink
Yeah.
out there.
And I mean, because this is on more than anything, just the fear factor, right? Of playing in each stadium.
Yeah,
I think Michigan should be even lower than 16.
I haven't been to Doak Campbell, but I feel like Florida's ahead of them.
I mean, I think it's just the reason they're higher is because Florida's been bad.
Yeah, but I just think
a part of that fear factor might be
because I've been to the Swamp at night a couple times.
Yeah,
I need to go to a game at Doak at night, like an evening game, because they
Yeah.
get stuck with you guys, or Florida State gets stuck with a bunch of afternoon games all the time.
I think the only night games this year are going to be like, obviously Florida and like Clemson, but I think those games are already sold out.
Yeah, well, no game's ever sold out. You just have to go to the right market.
I mean, it just depends on how much you really want to pay.
Yeah, probably not going anytime soon. I'll go. Georgia goes to Doak in 2027. I will be going to that game for sure. Don't really care. Oklahoma at 8. Again, I think that's one of those Alabama situations. The team is good. I mean, not many teams. To be fair, not many teams go to Oklahoma and win. But again, it's
not many teams go to Oklahoma at all, though. They don't schedule a lot of competition at home.
I think some teams left off this list. West Virginia.
Yeah,
I think it's always a good crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's one that I'm missing. It's off the top of my head. I mean, Vanderbilt should have done this for sure. Oh yeah, Washington.
Washington's
didn't even notice that one.
Yeah,
that's a wild one.
Yeah,
Oregon's on there, but Washington's not. That's a little surprising right there. Oklahoma State's not on there.
That's pretty surprising, actually. Yeah,
dude, Boone Pickens Stadium is at night.
That's a scary place to play, man.
They get blackout sky. I mean, come on.
I mean, I've seen a few Oklahoma teams go in there and lose, and it's been like a shocker every time on their faces.
For sure. Texas Tech is a good place.
Yeah, Texas Tech's a good one.
UCF, the Bounce House. No, they're not a top 25 team, but
I wouldn't say top 25, but yeah, I mean, even outside of that, I think this isn't that. I mean, I just think the order is bad.
Yeah,
I think overall the teams picked aren't that bad. It's just the order. I also think 22 Michigan State. I would not put Michigan State in the top 25.
Let's see what else this is. Neyland Stadium, Florida State, snub Nebraska, Boise State out, Appalachian State in. Trying to see it. Yeah, there we go. Bring them in. BYU. It's always a sneaky one. This is their list.
Yeah.
Trying to see if they added anybody else in.
Who's that by?
Ole Miss, Vaught Hemingway. That's always a good one. Just a lot of, again, this is all make or miss. So I think we're going to get in now to our top 10 now. Dylan, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, no. I do think it's funny is I went on that same one you were looking at. I was reading what they put for the Florida State thing, right?
Yeah.
And all it said is, didn't Florida State beat Florida in Gainesville last year without its starting quarterback? And they said, yeah, we're fine with these rankings for now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I like to see.
Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, let's see how this reacts well on the internet.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm ready. Do you have a list though already?
I'm almost done with it. That's why I was going to
I could start with mine. Start from 10 down. This is not the rankings of the toughest places to play. This is just, in my opinion, the best stadiums in the country. Obviously the toughness is a factor, but there's also just, the venue itself, everything involved, right? So number 10, I had Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, UF. I've been to a game there. Actually, I've been to a couple games there. It's not bad. I think there's a couple problems with it, though, personally, is that The bathrooms are terrible.
Yeah.
It's kind of really confusing to get around. And
I don't know about that part, but actually, it's not true. I did get lost in there earlier this year,
Yeah.
just walking around, and this was not even on a game day. I kind of got lost.
yeah, I tell you that place is confusing. The security is terrible there. I saw a dude walk in.
Oh,
without a
100%.
ticket. I
They
saw a
don't-
dude walk around the security without a ticket, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did I
Security
even
there's
spend
not
money?"
ideal.
But I put them at number 10. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's it's a top 10 stadium in the country. Number 9, I had Bryant Denny, way down from where EA has him. It's a really cool looking stadium. I'm not sold 100% on the terrifying factor of it. I think it's that it just houses a really good team, and that makes up for some of its shortcomings.
I mean, there's been some good crowds, but
It's more
overall,
of an NFL venue to me.
Yeah, like the fan base is a little lackluster for me.
It feels like an NFL venue, and where the stands are further away from the field, so the noise never gets as loud as some places.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the way I describe it. It not only looks like an NFL stadium with like all the screens all around the place and like the way the stands are set up, but like the way that it just never gets as loud as other places.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So then number 8, I had Doak Campbell Stadium. I've been to Florida State. I've been to that stadium. It's very, very, very pretty stadium from the outside. Probably, I don't know how you feel, but it's probably one of the best looking stadiums from the outside with the all brick facade. It's got a very nice interior. The only thing that puts it down a little bit for me is it is a little bit smaller than some of the stadiums above it.
They are renovating it, so I don't know if that's expansion or not, but
it's downsizing by like 5,000, I think, but they're adding like premium seating down below. You know how that is.
Yeah.
But they're turning a lot of the bleachers into like backing chairs, which is dumb because everybody just stands the whole time anyway. So, anyways, number 7, I have DKR Stadium in Texas. Again, another really, really nice stadium. They had renovations not too long ago. I think 2019, which really made that like end zone on I think it's a south end zone for them look really nice for them. I'm a big fan of that stadium. Number 6, Kyle Field, Texas A&M. I do think it's better than Texas's, but not by that much. But it's a really nice stadium. Texas A&M is easy to make fun of, but a lot of the traditions they have in the stadium are really exciting to watch, like how loud that place can get. Number 5, I have the Big House, Michigan. I will say this one was the one I debated the most about dropping even further, just because
I don't have them in my top 10.
There's no fear factor in playing at Michigan outside of playing the team.
Even Ohio State is like that.
Yeah, I didn't put Ohio State in my top 10. I didn't put Ohio State in my top 10, not because I don't think both of those teams pull good crowds. They pull in
over 100,000
every single day. But the problem is just the way the stadiums are designed. They're not that loud.
You don't hear them.
They funnel it straight up so you don't hear anything. It legitimately at times can sound like a high school venue because it's just quiet. However, I think the Big House looks really nice. The way that stadium is designed is awesome to me. It looks so cool. I know it's really dumb the way that there's only one entrance to the locker rooms that both teams have to go down, but I think it creates a really intense environment that's really fun to watch, especially on television. Every single time Ohio State plays Michigan, and they always cut to that video of both teams getting there, and they're just screaming at each other down that hallway. I mean, that's awesome. Very dumb, but it's awesome. Number 4, I have Sanford Stadium, Georgia. Fantastic venue with the hedges. It's a very beautiful place. I don't know if there's it's at number 4 for a reason. They sell that place out almost every single game, every year. They loud as you can get there too. I mean, the hedges are iconic. Number 4, easy, Sanford Stadium. Number 3, I have Death Valley, LSU Death Valley. The real Death Valley.
There's only one Death Valley.
There's the real Death Valley. I don't care about Howard's Rock.
Clemson Mocky Rock Memorial Stadium.
That stadium is an intense environment, especially at night games. You can feel it watching it on TV that stadium is a nightmare to play in for other teams. That it can be an intense like that. I remember a couple years ago when Florida went down there and
To
it was a close. I think it was
to
2020
where?
or 2019. When Florida played LSU in Death Valley.
Oh yes.
And it went to like the very end, but Florida lost. Maybe it was 2021. I don't remember. It was one of those years where that game was back and forth the whole time. I think it was 2019. It was 2019 when Joe Burrow was there.
Well, even 2 years ago when Bama went there and they won in
Oh,
overtime, LSU did.
It's
And
insane.
they
That
stormed
place
the
is
field. Was wild.
Yeah. No, that place intense to play at. Intense to play at. Number 2, though, I have Autzen Stadium, Oregon. Probably the most beautiful venue in the country. Just the landscape around it, the trees, the wildlife. The rain makes it such an intense environment to play in, too. The way it's designed is designed to be as loud as possible for players on the field. And, I mean, I've seen that stadium, just the environment alone, can crush an opponent before they even get started. You remember that Colorado game last year?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
Colorado
that game
couldn't even do anything. Like, it wasn't even just that Oregon was so much better, is that they couldn't even, like, get plays off because the stadium was just too loud for them to do anything in.
Yeah, that
was
that was a disaster from the get-go.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then my number 1 stadium is Beaver Stadium, Penn State. I love that stadium. I think it's so nice. It's so big. When they have a whiteout, it's one of the loudest places on the planet.
If only they could win more, though, when they're doing
Yeah, that's the only thing with them is if they
because the
won
whiteouts
more,
haven't recently, even the whiteouts haven't been able to even get the job done.
but they're still loud. Those fans are putting in their work. It's the team that's not backing up.
Yeah. That's a good list. That's a good list,
Thank
Dylan.
you. Thank you. Yeah.
LSU a little low for me, though. I think they should have been higher.
I put them at 3. I don't know how much
I would have put them. Well, I think.
Well, let's see where you put them.
So I'll start at 10, I guess. Work my way down. So number 10, I have Clemson.
Okay.
I think Memorial Stadium, they don't lose there very often. Even last year, they lost the one game to Florida State there. The rest were on the road. I mean, they handled Notre Dame. Remember, they lost at North Carolina State on the road as well.
Yeah.
So their only loss was Florida State in overtime. They don't lose there hardly ever.
Yeah.
It's a crazy place to play, even like in a noon kick. Even when that Florida State game last year. I mean, that place was full crowd, full house.
Yeah.
Always an intimidating place. I always looked at like the Louisville game from a few years ago, the Georgia game back in like 2013 when Georgia went there.
I don't know if you
wild. You'll get some wild atmospheres there.
Yeah, there was the was it 2015 Clemson Florida State at Death Valley? Clemson won that game. Well, it was the Dalvin Cook.
Oh yes.
That was
so
a good one too.
I have Clemson at 10, Ohio State at 9.
Okay.
I do think they're the best one. They're the only Big Ten team. Actually, check that. I Penn State up there, but Ohio State. Well, actually, never mind. Because I forgot the Pac-12 died. So Ohio State at 9. We did talk about how it is a very big place, but it kind of is like goes up. But how the place is shaped, it's like a giant cathedral. I mean, they fit over, I think, 102,000.
Yeah, it's a big stadium. It's a really big place.
It can be. I think it's one of those places, though, that even with, I think the fans are really passionate. It does get loud. It's not, you don't hear it through the TV as much, I think, for that reason, though. But they don't lose at home ever.
Yeah.
And I do think sometimes. Michigan. Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Well, and Oregon
could be cheating, though. Yeah, Oregon did get it done a couple of years ago. CJ Liddell, legacy game.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. But like they do play a factor, I think, a little bit. And so I do like I'll put Ohio State at 9. I mean, there were a couple teams I left off the list that could easily kind of flop their way in.
Yeah.
At 8, I'm gonna go Oregon.
Okay.
I think that what Lanning's gonna get going there. I think now, I think October 18th, I think is the game day. Ohio State goes to Oregon.
Mhm.
You want to talk about a crazy place? I know,
That's gonna
like
be insane.
Michigan State, when Michigan State was really good, and when Michigan State was in its kind of like heyday
Mhm.
in the 2010s,
Yeah.
went there, they got beat. Marcus Mariota teams. I mean, that place is crazy.
Yeah.
Very hostile place to play. And it's kind of like grass is kind of like built into it almost, I think.
Mhm.
So it's really cool shape, like you said. And very tough place to play, rain or shine.
Yeah.
7, I have Jordan Hare Stadium, Auburn.
That's a good. I should have put it there, but I wasn't.
Even
I don't know.
every year, no matter how bad they are. Now, they will lose games quite often at home.
Yeah.
But the fan base shows up. I
Mhm.
mean, Alabama, it's a house of horrors for Bama and Georgia sometimes to go there.
Yeah.
For them to go there. And those are the two biggest rivals for Auburn.
Mhm.
And twice last year, Auburn had both teams on the ropes and just let them
Yeah.
get out alive. So, but that place goes wild. They get into sway or swag surfing, and place goes nuts.
Mhm.
So great place to play there.
Yeah.
Georgia, I have at 6, Sanford Stadium.
Okay. Okay.
The fan base, I think it revitalized itself a little bit under Kirby Smart.
Mhm.
Kirby Smart's done a great job getting not just like the collared and sweater vest people to come, getting now more the younger crowd coming in,
Yeah.
getting it a little more lively and rowdy. And if
Mhm.
he wants you to show up for a noon kickoff, you're going to show up for a noon kickoff.
Yeah.
That Arkansas game 2021, the Tennessee game from 2022, LSU game from 2013 was up there. Just crazy places to play.
Mhm.
When I went, the only time I've ever been, it was rainy and there was still a decent crowd. It was like a monsoon though. I'm going back in October. I cannot wait. They're playing Auburn then. It's gonna be a night game. I think it's a flex game, so
Mhm.
it's either gonna be a 3:30 kick, a 4 o'clock, a 6 o'clock, or an 8 o'clock game. So either way, you're gonna have a really good time,
Mhm.
really good game time. I cannot wait to go back. Florida, I have at 5. Ben Hill Griffin at night is Berserkers. I was there for the Florida State game last year. I was there
Mhm.
for Tennessee. I was there for LSU when LSU beat them. But the Tennessee game last year, wild. I mean, ETN broke off on that one touchdown.
Yeah.
My ears were hurting after that. It really good atmosphere. They get into Tom Petty and going into the fourth, and they will. I mean, the student section's like right there on top of you on the
Yeah.
visiting side, so they'll play a factor. Does it always help? No, because the team stinks, but really good crowd.
Yeah.
Neyland Stadium, I have at 4. I think Tennessee, underrated place. Again, it's one of those places where the team hadn't been so lackluster, but the fans show up.
Mhm.
It's like a lot of these places, I think. But I mean, they get the checkerboard going. The power tee. Now they're doing the night games with
Yeah.
the blackout. Oh man. I mean the Alabama game from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Just the Florida game from a few years ago too, when they were going on that run.
Mhm.
And now it's always a week to week. They're always going to show up and they're going to make that place a nightmare the best they can before the
Yeah.
team does an implosion of unlike seen from many people before, with Chum Lee leading the way with Josh Heupel. Anyway, not nice, guys. Anyway, Penn State number 3.
Okay. Okay.
I think outside of it's a great venue, awesome place. I will say the only knack though, if you take away the whiteout, is it still a top 10 place?
I think it still gets loud though. That's
It
the thing.
will, but I just winning wise, has it translated enough for me against the bigger teams?
Yeah.
Unlike some of these other places, but still a really good place to play, especially the whiteout. I mean, you get the whiteout, that's all you really need right there.
Yeah.
Kyle Field at 2,
Mhm.
12th man. It gets loud. Those yell leaders, huh, ha, who, whatever.
Oh man.
Kyle Field, A&M. I mean, the place is crowded. They get those white towels going. It gets
Yeah.
really loud. and then LSU at 1. I mean, no much else to say. Death Valley at night is unlike anything. It's a bucket list for me. I want to go there very, very badly.
One day.
One day I'm going to go there for a night game.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Cajuns enough. You let them drink, they go wild. Now, you let them drink all day for a night game, and it gets really rough. And you know how people do it in the South. They take it to another level. And it's just one of those places. You get all that mixed in at one giant venue, and it is just perfection. And now LSU is really good. This is great, guys. LSU always is going to be the number 1, probably, until someone else really steps up. But until then, I think it's like LSU and then like the rest of the field. But that's just my list. So I don't know.
I mean, I like your list.
Honorable mentions: FSU at 11, Bama at 12, Michigan 13, Washington 14, Wisconsin 15.
Yeah.
I think you take away the traditions of jump around for Wisconsin, not much. Washington, really good. Stadium's a little small for me. Michigan, it's one of those places you can fit a bunch of people in and you can sing Mr. Brightside. What else are you? Not much. You only have one lock. You have one locker entrance or opening tunnel. Bama, wine and cheese crowd, not showing up for the games that don't matter.
Yep.
Crowds aren't as good. Yeah, and you have to be asked to show up week in and week out.
I don't think you're a great venue.
Bingo. FSU, I really want to put them in, but they're like 10B almost. I just think that somebody said
you just need to go to a game first there.
I need to go to a game there. But somebody said that has been to like both like the Swamp and then Doak that both places really good. But like on a third down when you need the crowd to step up, the Swamp's better. So I'm going to put that. I'm going to take that word for now.
Okay.
When I go, we'll have others think. I do love doing the tomahawk though.
Yeah.
Just something about doing that. It's just outstanding.
I mean, it's really fun though, especially because like on a third down, they get the band playing. The entire stadium's like doing it.
Third down, Dylan. They do it every down. I don't know what you're looking at.
Not every down. All right.
Well,
relax.
they didn't. Well, they didn't do it for the Orange Bowl, but.
All right.
See, there we got him. 63-3. College football talk, guys. Make sure you guys find your shirts.
Yes.
Any final words though before we close out today's episode?
Nope, you shut me down there at the end. I
got down. What can I say? Hunter stands tall once again. If you guys want a shirt, feel free to reach out on the house because I got a bunch of them that are just sitting here. And here, I'll show you. Get a whole bunch, just a whole big old bag of them. So feel free to.
Feel free if you
true
want
to size. Can't even go run a little more bigger.
Yeah.
Please, dry fit shirts, excellent wear. Look at that. You see the logos on both sides.
Oh yeah.
The gym. Take best looking pod around. And subscribe. Listen on Spotify. Dylan, you get the final word.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope to see you guys for the next one.
There we go. Peace out, everyone.
See you guys.